Alright everyone, so this is Ajayi Joel, and today's content would not be centered on entrepreneurship alone. It will cover something that really matters to us, and I called it making tough decisions as adults. And the reason why I decided to make this particular content is because of what happened last week between a friend and I, where a friend had to reach out to me and was like, okay, she quit her job, and it was a spontaneous decision. She just like woke up one morning and decided to quit the job. And then the next thing is, what is next? What exactly is she going to do? And the whole fact that she was hyperventilating, really confused, so much of confusion. And I definitely knew that during such periods, you get so paranoid, you get so anxious and put yourself under so much stress because you're thinking of what's going to be the way forward for me. Do I now begin to apply for jobs? Where do I start from? And I know that I have been in a situation like this before, and not just me, I've also related to several persons who have been in situations like this before, and it's not a good situation to be in. That is why I'm making this video. So I just give her one piece of advice: take a full week off anything. Like, take a full week to just rest and relax your mind. You've quit your job. The next thing that you're supposed to do, that most people will just tell you to do, is okay, now begin to apply for a job and so many other things. I know that she might hurt herself by trying to do it at such moment. Her emotions are very high. They will help her make so many mistakes. And this is not just about jobs. This is about skills. This is about life as well, business as well. And nobody gave us this adulthood manual. I mean, when we were all young, we all felt that life was rosy. We all had issues with our parents back then, when we felt that our parents were not caring enough, that they should understand, they should give us this, they should give us that. If you never felt that, I did. And the more I began to grow and face responsibilities, I began to realize that it's not the way I've always seen things to be, that life is actually way different from what it is. So seeing that we adults have no adulthood manual, what can we do when we are faced with tough decisions? And I'll be addressing key decisions. Like the first one, let me just say, we start from, what do you want to do with your life? This happens a lot to undergraduates, like especially when they are in their final year. Then they come to the point on the realization that, hey, I've spent 4-5 years and I don't know what to do. Where do I start from? I had to laugh because I experienced that while I was in my final year. I looked at my whole life and I realized that, what have I really achieved in this 5 years I spent studying this particular course? Where exactly is my life going to go? And it was just a very difficult moment of my life. And so I made decisions then. Okay, I was going to chase the skill. So if you are in such position, if you're in such situation right now where you're thinking about what do you want to do with your life, there are few things you can do. First, and I give people this piece of advice: you need to let go of distraction, because at this particular point in your life, what you need is serious focus. You need to have a goal, and I'm not here trying to like just push motivation to you. I want to tell you what exactly you need to do, and if you follow this through, you will be able to see results in months. I don't say 1 month, let's just say 6 months. I applied this thing and this changed the ball game for my life. I was stranded, I had no skill, nothing, but I made this decision, and in 1 year I was able to secure a job that paid me very good amount of money because I was focused. So you need to let go of whatever distraction would set in. First, what goal? You need to first be able to figure out what you want to do, and you don't figure it out if you don't try. You just have to start from somewhere. And I've seen lots of persons say, okay, what exactly am I going to do? I don't know what I'm good at. Just shut up. Fine, you don't know what you're good at, but this is the time for you to begin to try your hands on several things. Try your hand on any skill. The goal is not to start with the skill. The skill is not the end itself. It's a means to an end, because as you begin to try your hands on these things, you begin to figure out what you're perfectly fit. You begin to see, your eyes begin to expand, your mind begins to expand. Then you see what fits into you. People don't get to start this thing because they feel, what if I start this thing and there's not enough time and I now discover this is not what I like? But have I not wasted? Just shut up, please. This is about you. So firstly, figure out what you want to do. Then start from somewhere. Just start. And once you've started, you need to take off distractions. You need to take off communication with friends. You need to take off, I don't mean like stop communicating with friends, but a lot of you spend so much time on social media that it helps you. It helps, would I say it helps you, or it harms you rather? Many of you are addicted to Twitter, addicted to WhatsApp, addicted to Facebook. I put extra measures. Then I remember, even till now, I put so much extra measure in protecting my time and sanity. And I'm not saying you should apply this, but it's also something you can apply. I only check 15% status every day. I muted every other person who is my friend, not my friend, and stuff, because I don't want to spend so much time checking people's statuses, to save time and to keep myself space. So the people that I check their status, I learn from them. So you must do whatever you need as much as possible to get these distractions away. The reason why it's a tough decision to make is because we are already wired to love entertainment. We're already wired to love people's company. We're already wired to love association. But now you're left with you're left with two choices, or you have two choices. One is this skill. Then the other one is the normal way of life you're living. But as much as possible, making this tough decision is what is going to help you. So I would say that you just put extra measures. Most times people don't follow to-do list, which is actually not too cool. If you follow to-do list, it can help you break down things. But as much as possible, just try to limit whatever form of distractions you turn off. I don't use my phone notifications. Like, I don't receive notifications on my phone because I turn them off for every app. Because once you receive notification, the next thing you want to do is you will want to go and check, hey, who just posted, who did this, who did that. So then I was able to focus on so many things that were important to me, and I was able to learn as many skills that are really helping me today. So that's skill aside. Then the next thing is, another thing is, people are also lost with the how will I put it, the tough decision of choosing between, should I quit this job to learn this, to venture into something I want to do best? Like, should I quit this job to start my own passion? I believe that a good number of Nigerian youth or African youth are faced with this because jobs are not paying us as much as possible. I mean, you would see that so many job requirements. You see so many requirements for a job. I want you to be this, I want you to be that. You need to have this and this and that. And when you look at how much they want to pay them or they are paying them, it's just so ridiculous. And nobody wants to be caught in this rat race, or just wants to be caught in the trap and remain here for as long as possible. Like our parents, probably they were comfortable with it, and the money they were paying them was okay based on a decade ago. But now the amount they are paying obviously is not really enough to settle down and to move on with life. So how do you make this tough decision when you're not satisfied with the amount in your income you're earning at your place of work, and also you want to start a business, because you cannot really run two of them conveniently, which is still possible. But the tough decision is, should you let go of your job and go for the skill that you have? Should you make the spontaneous decision like my friend, and also now risk it all? Personally, from experience, I would say that you shouldn't, because I have suffered from this a lot of times, where I've had so many experiences, and as an entrepreneur, I would not say it's healthy, because things like this can lead you to depression, and depression can also lead to suicide if you don't have a strong will. And I'm not here to begin to preach strong will to you, because not everybody can get to the point where you should break and you still do not break. I was able to cope with it. I'm not here to begin to talk about my own story, but I've had so many experiences where I had to let go of a job that was paying me in good hundreds of thousands to start a business. I just made a spontaneous decision, and for 6 good months 6 good months, I had to suffer for it. I had to squat with a friend. My income depreciated. Like my source, I thought I was going to depend on on gigs coming in, but at that point in time, gigs too stopped coming in. So I was just down to zero. I began to pile debt and stuff like that, and it was not really funny. So and I knew how it affected me mentally. And this is not just the first experience I've had. I've had so many experiences where I made spontaneous decisions. But at the same time, I would say it's all good because I've been able to escape that trap, and I've been able to figure out how I can continue scaling what I love doing best or what would be profitable for me. So when you're caught with this tough decision, what do? You're not earning so well at your workplace. The first thing to do is to break down the time that you spend. And this might not be applicable to people in Lagos, because I really don't know how you guys cope in Lagos, where you have to wake up by 4 a.m. to have your bath, then leave home by 5, 6, in order to arrive work by 8, and then when you're done with work by 6 p.m. you get home by 11. There is literally no time for you to like spend on yourself to do some personal things. But I remember when I was running the first job, before I quit it, before I left the job, I would, after work by 6 p.m. I would go home, rest between 6 to 7 p.m., have my bath, take some meal, the necessary meal, and then start whatever I want to, then rest a little bit. Then once it's 9 p.m., I start the skill I was learning. I would learn from 9 till 1. I resumed work by 10 a.m., no, by 9 a.m. So I would rest from 9 till 1. I would learn whatever I was learning from 9 till 1, or sometimes 9 till 12, then sleep from 12 till 7. So I was still getting good amount of rest, good amount of sleep. But this might not be applicable to people that hold up is going to be stealing your time or some other things like that. So what I would definitely encourage is for you to maximize the little time you have. Before you quit that job, be sure of whatever you want to start. Be sure of whatever you want to start. It's a tough decision, and believe you me, nothing good comes easy. When I mean comes easy, I'm not saying you will have to suffer. People have been born into wealthy homes, but like to make more money, they will also have to like make some sacrifices and some other things. And now you're caught in this like quagmire, and you want to make this tough decision. That's why I'm making this video. So you have to find a way to squeeze out time for whatever you want to do. Whether you're like taking the bus to work, ensure you're connected to the internet, or ensure you find like 30 minutes to download podcasts that you need to listen to, and maximize the time. Get a headset, get a earpiece, listen to podcasts as you're going, document whatever you're learning. Ensure you have something tangible that is called a skill before you make that decision, because you would eventually get to face the brunt. And if you can bear the brunt, if you have tough skin, I would say go into it, because lots of persons have tough skin and well, they eventually survive. People also like do not survive making decisions like this. So, but I would say that in order to like put yourself in the safety position, safe spots, you need to also consider the fact that you need to have something that you're grounded at, not that you've now done and then you're now beginning to try to figure out what you want to do. Sometimes it also works out as well, but everything is still centered on full focus. So the tough decision most times that we don't get to make is the sacrifices that we are supposed to make. If you're spending a particular amount of money daily before you're faced with whatever you're facing, you need to downsize.
Yeah, you need to downsize. If you have a particular amount budgeted for data and it's on entertainment, you need to cut it into 2. If you have an amount of money you're spending on some things that are worth sacrificing on, you need to downsize. And most times people don't understand what downsizing means. I mean, we've listened to lots of people talk about the fact that if you cannot afford something, increase your earning, increase how much you're earning. Well, that makes so much of sense, but that's not the point. They only tell you, they are only telling you that they are not addressing the issue, because for you to increase the amount of money you're spending, you need to make a particular amount of sacrifice. You need to make that tough decision. That tough decision itself is what they are not telling you to make. They would say I've listened to a lot of them like that. If they are not lying in the real sense. Like if you cannot afford something, increase how much you're earning. But then it now looks like downsizing is not something that makes sense. and especially to entrepreneurs. But downsizing is something that makes sense in the world of entrepreneurship if you want to increase your earning. Like if you want to increase the number of sales, let's not even like use entrepreneurial words now, because this is like a real life tough life issue. So if you want to like get something done and your money, you cannot afford it, be able to afford it, to have that income that would enable you afford it, it means probably you've increased in your skill proficiency, or you've increased in knowledge or something like that. But for you to increase in that skill proficiency, you did something that was able to help you to achieve it. That's what the downsizing is. Downsizing means you're cutting off things that are not necessary, and most times it's around finances. It could be around like you're spending so much on snacks and some other things, hangout. You have to cut it off. It's temporarily, it's for a short time, it's not permanent. About to done, even if it's to sell some of your materials, your things, it might not sound like a reasonable advice. All fine and good, but this is like the best thing to do at such periods in time. Why use a very expensive phone when you cannot conveniently afford to subscribe on it? Why not sell that phone to an okay phone and have more data and have other things met? People don't get to give you these pieces of advice every day because everybody wants to live large and some other things. But this is about you. This is about the decisions that will help you like break out from that box that you find yourself in. So you need to make tough decisions like this. Remember, the goal is you want to cut off every form of distraction and you want to focus on achieving what will help you break out. The distractions, if it's to mute friends, if it's to come out of some circles for a short time, please do. It's going to be of help. It has helped me so far, so good. This is about you. This is about your life. This is about your decisions. So if you've gotten value from this, I would want you to share this or subscribe to our channel. If you're watching this from YouTube, you hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification. Then if you're watching this on IG, you will definitely be watching it on either our IG account, Official Climber. I start off focus on helping businesses grow, start growing and scaling, and this just needed to be addressed. This is not business or anything, but this needed to be addressed because it's affecting so many persons. So subscribe, follow our page, or you can also follow me personally at the Ajayi Joel, THE_AJAYI. You will definitely see my handle there. And share this with friends, tell them to join our community. We have so much going on our page that would help your business. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business person, that will help your business. The basic knowledge you need to grow your business, to make mad profits, to make crazy sales, and a lot of other things like that. So till then, I would say keep believing in yourself, keep believing in what you're doing, and keep grinding. Have a great day, everyone.